If I like you and you like me and we both like the same, I like you, you like me, I like to know your name. I'll love only you and always be true, and I hope that you feel the same. I like you, you like me, I want to know your name. Ha ha ha. You know how we do it. The power of blue argonite. The power of blue argonite. The power of blue argonite. Oh, there it is. Giving you the virgin energy. Putting that virgin energy. Giving you that virgin energy. The lightning bolt. The lightning bolt. Well, good morning. I go by the name of Big Pontiac and like to welcome you all to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am also the holder of the sacred infinite ball game that was created by the Hero Twins. I am also your one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming all the Chocolate Mountaineers to my galactic patio from Minnesota to the universe. And yeah, I'm gonna get to him quick enough. Hey, Adrian, what's happening? Thank you for joining. Twins are chokers. Yankees had amazing comeback win. I don't know if it was a comeback win because I watched most of the game and we hit 5 home runs on your Yankees, 5 big ones. And it wasn't the home runs that beat them. Judge got walked and then he got knocked in. And then they got in 2 more. So they hit a total of 9 home runs. Braxton had 2. However, CW, well, let's put his stuff up here. He wants to talk shit. In my parlay, I won Tampa Bay. I bet on the Yankees, and I bet on the Dodgers to beat the Sox. So suck it, CWE. I hit today. Alchemist, thank you for joining. Thank you. Twins was up 73. Yankees scored 7 runs after the 3rd inning. No. At one point, it was 3-3. At one point, it was 3-3. And I was watching a hockey game. So could be. Because I was only watching the baseball game up until the hockey game came on about 7:45. So I saw the first 3 home runs in a row. Dude gave up. The Yankees starting pitcher, the A's, gave up 3 home runs in a row. And then I know the Yankees, and then I caught that the other part on SportsCenter. But I watched the game. I watched the end of the game. Yeah, they definitely choked because they had the game. They really did have the game. It was 7-7. Yeah, 7-7. They tied it up 7-7. Yeah, and nothing happened after that. Yep. Yeah, it was 3-3, then 6-3, then 7-3. Yeah. I watched the hockey game, but I started off watching that game. But the hockey game was a good game. He didn't score until, let me see, what did I put here? Yeah, the hockey game, the game wasn't decided until really 150. They got an empty net goal again. That's point shaving. But 150, they won the game in New York. And they were showing all the celebs and shit in New York. So I was going back and forth. Actually, I got offered to go to the game tonight. Someone called me, asked me if I wanted to go to the game, and I was like at the pickleball court. I'm like, man, I'm tired of this shit. And I still live from the stadium. I'm about a half hour. And when he called me, rush hour, so it was going to take me probably a good 40 minutes to drive up there. By the time I parked, and I was tired. I played pickleball, and I hit. I hadn't played since Sunday, and I was bad the first 4 games. That 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th game, I wasn't bad no more. I was tired, but it was good to work on the conditioning. It was in the 80s today. It was nice here today. Yeah. So got the pickleball in today. Felt pretty good. The game is getting there. I just got to get the pickleball conditioning in so I can play them 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. Get my lazy ass up and start playing in the morning. But today I didn't get up until noon. But y'all know I didn't go to bed about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Oh, and tonight, I'm just drinking regular water. This is not good. Oh, see if I can work it out. Cramp. And I already took a muscle relaxer because my back hurts. So pop them if you got them. I'm doing the copper water. And I done dropped some edibles. So you can smoke them if you want them because I'm there. uh, Yankees struggled on offense at times. They did at the beginning of the game, and their pitching was shit. I don't care if they lost. Their pitching was shit. Now, the Twins pitching was shit, too. They ain't really getting no good pitching until the end of the game. Rangers had a 2-0 lead after and lost 3 straight. Yeah. Yeah. But they was getting out hustled the whole game, really, if you looked at it. They was really getting out hustled and outplayed. Oh, there we go. Good. Hey, Sean, how you doing, bro? And blessings to your new crib, definitely. Oh, and I'm sending you this one, Sean. You can only get these in Michigan. I'm sending you that one too. This Petoskey stone. One of my friends sent these to me a few years ago. She was up in northern Michigan. You can only get these in Michigan. So I'm gonna send you this one, Petoskey stone, which Melody does talk about. Wrote a song about it. Because all of them have possibilities. Well, this shit's in the back. No, I don't know how to spell that shit. Oh, here it is. I know how to spell it. I saw it. Yeah, I just saw the shit. Bummer. Oh, here we go. Petoskey. 481. Oh, I already had it placed out. Yeah, Petoskey stone is a type of fossilized colony coral that exhibits an eye when polished. It is found in Petoskey, Michigan. This stone stimulates the third eye and the intuitive level of the inner self. It helps one towards psychic awareness, enhances the awareness of the emotions. It provides protection of the area around the head and energizes both the crown and third eye. The Petoskey stone discharges infectious disease, eliminates the possibility of mischievous spirits channeling incorrect information to bring promotion, accolation to one's creative endeavors. So yeah, I'm sending that one out. I'm sending that one out to you. Oh. It was a good game, though. It was a good game. Okay, bet. I'm glad they smooth. Okay, cool. Hey, brother PJ, my man in 1,000 grand. Yeah, good. I'm glad things are smooth. Around here is, it's normal. Glad to work out. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I should have made the last show on Responsible Daddy Hour because my daughter, from now on, she'll be busted to drive herself. Shit, in 3 years, she'll drive herself. Well, about 4. But it'd be catching the bus from here on in. Yankee plays Cubs next. We have who's coming here? They said who the Cubs or who the Twins are playing next. I heard them say it. But I'm gonna go to a Twins game and I'll do it live when I'm at the game. I'm definitely gonna go. Maybe even next week, depending on the weather. We're supposed to get rain, but I think it's gonna be too warm to rain. Too rain to warm. Need to wash the ride off. Got lazy. My ex smoked me a bunch of meat, so that was cool. My daughter seasoned the shit out of it, but it was still cool. And I said, won a little money tonight, so that was definitely a bonus. Definitely a bonus. Yankees play the Cubs next. Damn, well, they said who the Twins played too, because after the hockey game was over, I turned right back to see the Twins play to finish up the Twins game, and so game ended on 2 ground balls and a strikeout. I generally watch the Twins play, but of course, if it's Twins early season game, compared to, playoffs. I'm watching the playoffs. Yeah. And it's really hard to be positive all the time. You notice that? And I don't want anybody to think that I'm Mr. Want everybody to be positive all the time. The drills of America. What's happening? Twins play the Rays next. Okay. Okay. I think I did hear that. They play the Rays. Thank you. So if not this week, next week, my birthday's at the end of the month, so somewhere around here, between now and my birthday, I'll go to a game. I'll be dressed like this or some shit like that. And I said, as I mentioned, we got my son is getting opening date. I think it's the September 11th Vikings. So I think I'm gonna be up in that bitch too. But I'll definitely go see some Twins games. And I think the Twins is the only one where you can buy tickets. But like Timberwolves, you go to a Timberwolf game and you ain't got tickets, you ain't going to buy tickets unless you get it outside from a scalper. And scalping is legal here. But you can't buy tickets. Baseball, I think you can still buy tickets beat right to the game. The seat, like I'm going to go in there and ask. The seat I love, the best seat there is you sit in the second level. I sit behind the TV dude. It's the home plate TV dude. I've sat there several times. It's like the TV dude with the cameras right under you, and you sitting, but it's like second row, right behind home plate. I love that. I love that seat, and it's like it's one of them bar things, like right behind you, so it's easy to get the food and shit. So that's my favorite seat. But it really ain't no, other than sitting in them bleachers. I said before, I sat in the bleachers because somebody gave me free tickets, and I had like 5 free tickets. The minute I started walking in bleachers, I was like, oh, help me, Jesus, help me, God. I mean, it was like, woohoo, like, did they build this? I'm like, am I about to sue these mugs because I'm going to fall out in this shit? Oh, my goodness. It was the cheapest seats I ever sat in my life. I mean, every time a person walked on the stairs, everybody felt it. Yeah, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth sitting back there. How at the Reds games, I like sitting behind home plate. Bet. The food and beer is expensive. Well, I'll tell you what, like what they did last summer before, they had Wednesdays, and Wednesdays was always it was dollar hot dogs and $2 beer, something like that. So I couldn't get nobody to go with me. So oh yeah, CW. I thought I was gonna fall. No lie. Them bleacher seats, them steel bleacher seats that's out center field where the Twins. Oh, I'd never go there again. Oh, and that shit was like 5. Damn, that shit was high. And it's you was feeling everybody walking. You was feeling the wind out there. Yeah, that was, I don't know. I'd never been scared of the stadium before, but I was scared. I was scared sitting on that thing. Yeah, I definitely thought that thing was gonna fall out. I don't give a fuck. I go to games by myself. Oh yeah, I still went, but it was just I hated that I would have all these tickets, and didn't have nowhere to go there. Cause we just get lucky. My mother is a complex manager, and one time she had some of the twins that was renting townhouses where she used to manage, and so we was getting tickets. She's getting tickets all the time. And just know people, and that's that kind of thing. So it was fun to make a little money up. I got my bet in for the Warriors in 7. I'm still getting 3.5 per, so I'm 2-1, 1-2 in that regards of not covering. But so I took the 7. I took the go on the 7. I got that bet in. I had to get the bet in midnight tonight, so I've got it now. Warriors 7. As I said last night, they're going to do a replay of Michael Jordan beating the Sonic on Father's Day. So, hey, Lorenzo, how you doing, my man? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. But yeah, baseball, I don't mind going by myself. It's just we wasted tickets, I've said it before, I've had the most fun with tickets. I had a dude my son and I, we were in something like Dollar General or something. One dude was just talking and was like, he had tickets and just wasn't going to go. He had 2 tickets, and it was to see the Timberwolves. And I was like, man, I'll buy them. But he's like, how much? I didn't have a lot of money. I'm like, man, I got about $3, $4, and I was gonna go do laundry like later that day. He's like, give me that, and you can have. He gave me 2 decent tickets. I was like, shit. And then the scalper, we was coming from the Mall of America. We had like got off the train because the boys wanted to ride the train out to the mall. So we put them on the train. We rode out to the mall, spent the day out there, and then walking back, we just catch the bus to the crib. And dude was just walking. He said, "Hey man, here you go." And just when Jason, this how far back it was. It was when Jason Kidd had went back to Dallas, and when Dallas finally won, they played. I don't know if y'all remember this, but Jason Kidd had like 31 points. He had like 15, 16 assists. Because I talked cash shit about them getting him, and then he put it on the Timberwolves. He had like a triple double. I'm like, this dude's way too old, man. He had like 31. 15 and something like 10, 11 rebounds. He had a triple double his first game back. And I don't know if y'all remember that. And I was thinking about other than Jordan, the one player I've probably seen the most, and I hate to say this. Now, again, not counting the home teams, not counting the Timberwolves. I really should count out the Pistons, the Bulls, and the Timberwolves. Counting them out, because I've seen those 3 clubs the most. But the other person that I calculated it, and the one guy I saw the most would be freaking Karl Malone. Somebody that I hated playing. I watched him play the most live of players that wasn't the home team. I don't know how I was always getting Utah tickets, but I was always getting Utah tickets. And I must have watched Karl Malone over the year play 20 times. Somebody I hate watching play. I saw Karl Malone play in Chicago. I saw Karl Malone play in Detroit. And I saw Karl Malone play here. You can meet interesting people. Oh, yeah. Baseball. And it's so laid back. I'll match you on the words when it's 7. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I got my bet in. If you're going to bet now. You got to bet before, well, it's too late now. You had to bet before midnight to get the early bet in. That was back in 11. It could have been. Yeah, that could have been. Could have been back in 11. Yeah. And I talked cash shit about him coming here, and he turned that motherfucker out, man. We was leaving there giving, we was Dallas fans when we left. And my older son was like, why'd you guys come home so late? I thought you guys were just going out to the mall, because we came home back at night. We left like early in the day, like 10, 11, caught the bus downtown, walked the block, catch the train out to the Mall of America, go out there, eat, and put the boys on rides. That was back when in 11, they still had the Legoland where you could just sit down, or there was a Barnes and Nobles. That's what I would do. I'd make their little ass just play, but they would play with the Legos. They build cars, build whatever. And I mean, children did this for hours. We would just sit there. Or if my wife at the time wanted to go look at something, I'll sit there and watch. She'll come back, so. And then we finally, go back, and the dude gave us tickets, so we buying food at the game and shit and sitting there. We didn't get home till that evening. It wasn't late. It was that evening, though. It's like, yeah, we went to the basketball game. Yeah, they did try to shame him as a woman beater. Remember the comedian talked shit about Jason Kidd's son? Because, when his son was little, he had like, do y'all remember Fred Flintstone, the Gazoo? Remember the Great Gazoo? Like y'all look up the Great Gazoo with Fred Flintstone. And that's the kind of head that Jason Kidd, little boy, had. He had a head like the Great Gazoo. Yep, simple truth. Got the Celtics winning tomorrow because Tatum will be 42-30. You know about them numbers. Yeah, I listened to a little bit of what he said. Kid got with Mavericks, and they won it against the Heat in 11. Remember, LeBron did his best. Tony from the Blue Chips. Yes, exactly. Kazoo. Yeah, Kazoo. Yeah, I thought he was saying the Great Kazoo. Yeah, remember he was the little blue dude that used to pop in with Fred Flintstone. Then that was the later ones too. That was like the mid 60 ones, probably 67, 68. That was the later ones. And you know, Flintstones used to come on weeknights, like the Simpsons come on. That's how the Flintstones was. The Flintstones was a copy of the Honeymooners. Yep. But y'all remember him? He had the big hat and he had the little helmet. But Jason Kidd's son, when he was little when he was little, he had a head like that. I don't know if y'all remember that. And you know, this ain't really funny, but I had a cousin like this. Well, this is what they called it. It's got a more modern name because you don't see it anymore. But I had a cousin that they call waterheads. And my cousin's head was probably 3 times the size of mine. And what came from was there were certain servicemen in World War II that were some kind of chemical they were around. They were around this chemical, and it apparently the way they ingested it, however they ingested it, it ended up in their sperm. And so this was something that when they came home during the baby boomer time, 45 on, children were born with this condition where their heads were really, really big. And that's what they called them. They called them waterheads. I had a cousin. She was the sweetest. She was like slightly younger than my mom. Sweet girl, Jeannie. Very sweet. We always loved her. When you see someone that's just part of the family, it's just part of the family. And you speak to them and they know your name. I mean, she knew my name. She would crochet. Jeannie would crochet like pot warmers and shit like that, but knew my name, knew me since I was little. It was always nice and always pleasant, but that's a condition that I saw people have when I was a boy. But that's where it came from. It came from World War II veterans. So you can look it up and get a little more. If Jody was here, she could look that up a little better. Remember the Great Gazoo and when the comedian made fun of Jason Kidd's son head. Oh man, his little boy had a big ass head, And when the comedian made fun, when he made fun, it's like, God damn, did you see that boy? The head on that boy. And it's all in jokes. It's nothing mean or personable, but it's just that shit was funny. It was like my youngest son, the giant, to put his face in here. This is a true story. I just recently gave back his first pictures. His first pictures was so ugly. We took them, and I had bought frames and shit. So we get the pictures, and I had bought frames, and we really didn't look at them because it was back with Kmart. You go in there, Kmart would take the pictures, and you pay for them when they came in. And so I had bought frames and shit. So we go home, and I'm not thinking about this shit. I take the picture out. It's my son, put it in the frame and put it up. And my wife at the time, my ex-wife, Kate, looked at the picture and sat down. And then when she looked at the picture, she's like, hell no. He had the ugliest newborn picture that of any child I've ever seen in my life. He literally looked like a shriveled up raisin. The California raisins, remember them, the little singing raisins? He looked like he could have like popped on the California raisins and been right in step with them. He was so ugly as a newborn. He got cuter afterwards, but yeah. I just remember her taking that picture down. All the pictures of the other ones is brand new babies is up. And she took his shit down. She's like, yeah, there's nobody gonna see these. And she took pictures afterwards where he looked changed. But yeah, he was the ugliest firstborn. I'm looking at all the older pictures of his sons, and he got bigger, but he still didn't grow out of that head. That's funny. Sherry Lita, thank you for joining me on this late hour. Master Cook there. Yeah, he's got a big dome, big noggin. I always tease my son though. Like you was so ugly, your mama didn't even want your picture up. You was so ugly. And to this day, I don't think them pictures are still in the packaging from Kmart to this day. Because I think I just recently gave it back to her because it was in my other son's baby book. Shit, it's like I still got the marriage certificate. Somewhere around here, I got the divorce paperwork too. It's somewhere around here. I had a box. I talked this story. I had a whole box of my trial, my divorce. My divorce, I mean, I had a box full of just shit. I had a binder like this. The binder was this thick of my ex-wife shit. I mean, I had one binder, just all the shit that they put together, you know. It was just triple. It's like this is one. How can I put it? It's like this is a miserable bitch. I mean, that's really, you read through this like this is one miserable bitch. And I ain't trying to bash her or anything, but yeah, at one point she just wasn't cool. But time goes on, and all you can do is worry about yourself. That's what quantum science say. Worry about yourself, and that's really all you can do. Worry about yourself and be the best version of you every day. I'm glad to have you here. She's up in northern Minnesota. And she told me that up in northern Minnesota where she at, she be like Bigfoot be hanging out up there and shit. He'd be like wearing, you know, like Godfather hats and shit. And she said she's seen Bigfoot a few times. So, you know, I think that's what I'm going to do. Go up there and drink beer with Bigfoot. Maybe like Bigfoot would probably like pizza. You know, out in the woods, he probably don't get a lot of pizza. So I'm like, you know, we'll bust him out and be like, we know you, Bigfoot. Quit faking it. What's happening? Remember when Jasmine Guy told Will Smith there ain't a fade on your head? That's your hair running away from your face. That's a funny joke. Oh, yes, I do remember that. I remember that. Hey, Vodka, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining. Shirley, I hope you don't mind. I'm just talking shit. I'm just having fun. That's all. That's all. Yeah, maybe I'll do it later. Make a note so I'll remember to do the shit later. All right. Yeah, the baseball game. When you see 9 home runs, 4 by one team, and like the Twins had 5 home runs. How you lose with 5 home runs? How you lose when you hit 3 home runs in the first inning? No way you should lose. Oh, there he is, Mac Bone Files. Peace and many blessings of the Black Jaguar God be upon you from the Black Jaguar teacher. Yes, and this is always a good time to give the transformation or energy. This is the transformation or energy of the Americas. This is strictly American and practiced nowhere else like this. This is American stuff, this transformation. The Jaguars. Well, look at all the teams they call cats in America. Why do you think that? Why do you think they call all these teams after the cats' names? The Panthers, the Jaguars. I mean, why do you think they try to use that? Try to use all this energy. They don't let it go by. They don't miss it. They use this stuff. So we should use it too. There ain't just one system. It's many systems. You just have to tap into the one that's that you can relate to. And spirituality can be one step at a time. That's how your life should be. One moment at a time. You worrying about shit. Can't do nothing about it. All you do is make enough moments where you find joy. That's what it is. You find enough moments where you find joy. Now, you know, you can say, well, did I enjoy basketball more before I figured out the whole system? because my love affair with basketball, especially breaking down the fix, was I saw it in 77, 76, 77. I saw it. But my love affair with it blinded me when Magic played. But then I started looking like when Magic dribbled the time out instead of trying to score. I mean, all that stuff started building up and like, this shit's fake. Looks like the Rangers are about to get 4-0. Lightning spotted them 2 games just to possibly beat them 4 straight. Yeah, I took that bet too. I took that bet too. I'm betting on them running the table. And early bet on them. Trying to think. Yeah, I didn't bet that. I almost did. But yeah, the early betting, you can already bet on them playing the Avalanche. Them bets is already in. Really both sides, but we make a little more money, the team that finally makes it in, of course. But yeah, even those odds is out already. When I get my eye. Liquid Fire. Mocha, what's happening? Thank you for joining me. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Says I look great. That's a great thing. I am 218 pounds of 60-year-old man. You still got the words winning? Yeah, I just said it. The bets I put in tonight for midnight was 7. I think it's going to be a repeat of Michael Jordan when he played for Seattle, winning on Father's Day. They're going to have Dale Curry in the audience. He's going to win it with his daddy there in Oakland. That's what I think is what they said no. But it's only speculation, so we'll see. Whew, it's strong. But yeah, Mac, I still got it. Talk your shit. Oh, of course. Of course. That's what we all got to do. Talk shit and feel good about yourself. Yeah, what Barry White says, show you right by your actions. Beautiful day up here, though. Even though I didn't get up until noon. My daughter cried, getting out of elementary school. She cried, sentimental, missed the teacher, missed that elementary school. She's been there. She went to her first 2 years of Spanish immersion, kindergarten, first, second grade. And then she's been there since second grade. So bittersweet for her, but she's had a sweet day. Now she's going to drive her mother and me crazy. But I'm going to get this basketball stuff going. So I do show, if I can't get her in the league, I do show her how to have improvement. That's the key. That is the key. Black Jaguar is the total embodiment of body, mind, mastery. There you go. There you go. Charlotte had the Bobcats, but now don't laugh out me. But I thought the Bobcats came from former BET owner Bob Johnson. It was another guy. Well, the Bobcats was there because they moved the franchise. They moved the Hornets initially to New Orleans. Remember? They moved the Hornets to New Orleans. So they moved it to New Orleans. I think the thing was all initially, I think Johnson just went through the motions again. As I said, Michael Jordan got one of the best sports deals ever. He only had to pay $30 million of $300 million to get started. And then within 10, 12 years, he's turned it into $1 billion. But so they was just called that. And then, they still was at, remember when they called the arena the Hive? So, but yeah, it was a guy before. I talked to Sirius. Mac talked to a black IG model, roasting her on IG. Supplies. Oh, Super Sly is a witness. Okay. Y'all be on that shit fucking with people. She's sweet. That's a big deal. New chapter. I teared up with my baby girl at her 6th grade graduation. And they didn't even have the graduation thing. I talked to my friend, his daughter got out of school yesterday. They had the graduation for the fifth graders going to the sixth. They had that in my school. They passed the torch in the hallway. They gave them t-shirts and passed the torch. Kind of lazy. Kind of lazy, but that's all right. Then these next years of developmental years, get these hoop skills, and plus she's bright. Her mother's bright, so she's bright. And I'm no slouch, but that's a better combination. That's how I feel about my elementary alma mater. Elementary is my best years of schooling. Yeah, I had fun. I mean, I was in elementary until sixth grade. I went seventh, eighth, ninth. I didn't go to high school till 10th. I started elementary school in 1966. Must have been 66, 67, because the pictures are definitely from 66, or the pictures I used to have. Because it had, like, the old pictures would have the dates on them, little bitty black and white. And I'll tell you, I knew dudes who had polio. I knew a couple people in my lifetime that had polio. And there was one person, when I used to have my kindergarten picture, I knew his name. Seemed like his name was Ricky, but I could be wrong. He took pictures with us, but he never went to class with us. He was in a wheelchair. He took pictures with us, but he was never in the class. I remember seeing him the first day, because I think when I was in kindergarten, we took pictures. Like, they walked us in there. We took pictures. I had a Batman, because, kindergarten back in the 60s, they made you sleep for 45 minutes. Probably was half hour, but. And I remember at the car dealerships, at the Dodge dealerships, they were selling the little beds, because they made you. I imagine later they made children bring blankets, but we had to bring little mats. So they was little mats, and my mat had Batman, but we had to get it from the Dodge dealership or whatever. It seemed like Chrysler or something like that. They was the only ones selling them, and so all the parents in kindergarten got their children the different, But yeah, that cat had polio, and then when I worked for the water department, I worked for a dude. His son had polio. He was a little older than me. When I was like 21 and met the dude, he was 23 or 24. He's a little older than me, but he had polio. It's only two people I met in my life that had it. And I guess, when I tell my pyro tales, I burned down 2 garages in my life. I kind of forget the second one I burned down. I forget that one, but my father was collecting cigarette packs, and I've told the story, but my father's collecting cigarette packs. But there was a mattress we used. We would jump off it and jump off the roof on the mattress, whatever. So I was kind of burning the cigarette packs up. My dad told me to burn them up. I just happened to put like a stick match to the mattress, and it burned a little hole in it. It looked like it went away. Didn't go away. I forgot about it. We in bed that night. We hear the fire trucks, and they knocking on our door, and the goddamn garage is blazed on fire. And I remember looking 40 years later, remembering the house was still there, but that garage been gone. That garage got burned down in the 60s. I was a young pyro, and the first thing I burned down was the garage stalls at the apartments I lived in. That was a sight. And I didn't tell my mother I did that until I was well into my 20s. And that was like 68, 69, maybe 70. But yeah, I kept that one close to me. I never told anybody about that. I just remember seeing the next day with them cars all burned up, and them cars with the foam, the fire foam to put them cars out because gas. I remember the next day like, oh shit. It looked like wintertime. They sprayed so much of them chemicals on that garage, it looked like wintertime. And I'm thinking, oh shit. Yeah. Young people messing with stuff. Yes, definitely damn. I was a part of the last class where 6th grade was in elementary. The next year, 6th was in middle school, and 9th grade was in high school. Yeah, my brother's of that age. My brother, I think, just turned 56. He was the first class where the freshmen went to high school. Yeah, he was the first class of that. And I think he was 83 or 84. I can't remember. 83 or 84. So it seemed like he was going to graduate from high school when I was supposed to graduate from college, because I was supposed to graduate from college in 83. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's when and most cities started, some schools always was like that. And some cities transitioned from that. Because I noticed when I was in ninth grade, we started playing other high schools. I remember we had beat a school when I was a freshman. We had beat them in football. Like, we had beat one of our city schools something like 40-0. They played one of these schools that had a freshman team, and this team we beat 40-0 beat a team 40-0. They canceled our game with them. They was like, yeah, you guys will cream them. Wasn't fair, but they did. Yeah, I was in middle school when I was 16. My uncle won a Rig World Series for Twins in 91. Okay, OTF. Wow. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I thought they was too. Where's that? What do you think about Jose Fernandez passing 16? Just only found out about him. You gotta make me remember. Remember who Jose Fernandez is. I don't know. You gotta make me remember who that cat is. I don't remember the name offhand. Dang, that's wild. I gotta be careful with my sage and candles. No joke though. Woke up with candles still lit. I was knocked out. Gratitude for protection. For my luck. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you something, like, I had some of this catch on fire in my hands where it was just burning, blazing. I had to put it in my sink because I had a bigger container with another piece, and I unbundled it and lit it all stupidly, and that shit like woof. Because it generally burns slow, but that shit was like woof. And the shit I had it in was like a little metal container, but cool on the outside. Yeah, I had to pour some water on that shit. So you do have to be careful with this kind of stuff, because some of the sage will burn faster than the others. It's just kind of how it is. So yeah, you got to be careful with this stuff. Ah, good. They just wrote me back. I needed that. But yeah, this stuff you got to be careful with. Ha, should I tell this story? I don't know if I should tell this story because the person will be watching me and be pissed if I tell her business. So I'll tell part of her business. How can I tell this story? Because she called me. She heard some shit I was talking, and she called me and she said, don't tell her story. She's like, you've been mentioning some shit, and I know you mentioned that shit because of me. So I want to tell her story, but I want to figure out how to do it. Now Omoka or Liquid Fire said about going to sleep with candles on and shit. As I said, real witches can always have a pot cooking, and real witches can always have candles burning. Always. I mean, they can turn the shit off or on, but they have candles that can burn all the time. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you shit. I'm gonna tell a little bit of their shit. So my friend, she had a potpourri, and she claimed. So it was just a little potpourri to where the candle burns the potpourri. And so I kept going over there, and I was like, every time the potpourri was on point. Like every time, like I never went over there where the potpourri wasn't on point. And so I got to watching that shit. And then one night I was like, you don't want to blow the potpourri out? Because I was just checking. Like, I was like, you want to blow it out? She's like, just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. And so with the potpourri, see, you have to be modern times. So with potpourri, she had her pot still burning, and she had the candle that never went out. She was smart about it. So that's all. I'll tell that part about your stuff, but that's what she did. So yeah. And so I just kept noticing, I was like, all the time. And so we was going to bed one night, I just tested her. I'm like, what about this? This is, she kept trying to get me to talk about other shit. She had the lacy shit on, and she didn't want to talk about that shit. And I just kept fucking with her. I'm like, shouldn't we blow this out? And then she just looked at me. It's like, nigga, you know. Yeah, I do know. So I won't tell no more. But yeah. So my point is, there's a lot of different ways they can use their magic that ain't got to be, as I said, as the Miami Marlins baseball player. The Miami Marlins player died in a boat accident. Because one died in a plane because he was high, and the other died in a boat because he was drunk. Yeah, that was, I mean, those both incidents, dying in the plane, dying in the boat, was the same thing as I mentioned with Payne Stewart. Remember Payne Stewart, they claimed as soon as they went up, they, what does they call it? Depressurized. And when a plane depressurized it, it'll kill you. It'll knock you out and kill you. So, yeah, just another sacrifice. Now elementary school is up to 4th grade, 5th and 6th are academy, 7th and 8th is middle, 9th is high school. Oh, okay, because up here, you know what they do up here? It's junior high, 6th, 7th, and 8th. But once you go into 9th grade, most of the time you can start taking college classes. Jenna, that lives kind of behind me, and I known her when she was younger and knew her mother, but Jenna graduated from high school with her associate's degree. So her senior year in college was just taking mostly college classes, but she graduated with associate's degree, and so she's going to. Her mom told me she's in her 3rd year. She just had to finish up her 3rd year, if not her senior year. Just tell no names. Yeah, I ain't gonna say her name, but she got a hold of me. It's like, you're gonna tell my shit. I know. I ain't gonna say her name. Oh yeah. But I wanted her to. I definitely was into her, but I was like noticing that shit. I'm like, just, but and because she was trying to hide it. She was trying to hide it. But I was just picking up on little things like that. The fact Hartford wasn't suspended for that play on Curry shows who they want win. The NBA suspends a player when they want the other team to win. Maybe, I don't know. I took college classes for some of the school credit. Yeah. Definitely. And that's becoming more and more common for everybody, for sure. Mr. C, the military's still going to arrest Biden. Okay, that seems like that's trolling. Anybody want to remove the troll? Or I'll do it. That makes no sense. I mean, like, it's like throwing that in like it's almost a joke. Okay, they do. That is okay. Then what? What's going to change? What's going to change? Not going to really change. So, as I said yesterday, I didn't really watch the finances today, but I imagine that the gas is still the same. Are Steph gonna light their ass up? That's what I believe too. I believe they're gonna light their ass up. I do believe that too. I believe Steph gonna rain, Poole gonna rain, and they're gonna let Clay rain, and they're gonna let Wiggins rain. I want to see them win for Wiggins the mostly. I kind of like Wiggins. I watched him play a lot here. And I like this game. I never really thought his effort was bad. It was just everything looked easy for him. And I would say he wasn't aggressive all the time. Elm was always up to 6th grade, but now it's 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th grade in middle school in my town. Okay. Yeah. Yep. And I'll say for me, and probably would have helped my 2 boys, because Hopkins High School, where Royce White graduated from, was 10th, 11th, 12th. I think my son, you guys see the most. I think it would have helped him if I'd have kept him at that school and he could have went to junior high in 9th grade, because putting him in high school, we got a big ass high school, and it just wasn't good. The sample, name a rap hip hop song that sampled a song and the hip hop song did the sampled song some justice. I'll say Method Man and Mary J. Blige, All I Need to Get By, from Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. So is this Wheel of Fortune all of a sudden? I didn't know this was Wheel of Fortune. Pleasure Principle. The Pleasure Principle is the only one I can think of, and that ain't a hip hop song. I saw some Wiggins highlights. Man, I'm mad Cleveland didn't keep him. Me too. Yeah, so that definitely a dope. Now, the only one I can think of is Pleasure Principle, but that ain't a hip hop song. That's more of a pop song where they took Change, you know, Luther sang with Change. Hip hop song. Oh, which Little Kim song? Not I Got a Crush on You. No, not that one. I'm stumped right now. But you can play high school ball even if you're in junior high. Um, I'll tell you why they do that. He says you can play high school ball even in junior high. They do that because of girl sports. Because in Michigan, see, as I talked about with Pistol Pete played varsity from 7th grade on up. In girls sports, you got 5th or 6th graders sometime having to play high school because of numbers. And so some cities, it doesn't matter. Some high schools, it doesn't matter what grade you're in. You can play varsity. Like imagine little Catholic and Christian schools. You can play varsity no matter what grade. So I took care of the nuisance. Okay, thank you. Looking good. Thank you. Ladies' night. Little Kim and Too Short saying call me. Okay. That's Biggie More Money remix. Yeah, Biggie More Money remix. But he said, how did he put that? He said the remix off a remix. Yeah. I have to think about that one. That is a mind twister. But you have to pay me for, you want to turn this into the game show hour, you're gonna have to pay me a little bit. You're gonna have to put something in the bucket, the only game we play on this show is Name That Pimp. And I guess that ain't even popular since they tie that with human trafficking. That ain't even probably cool to even hardly say anymore. I'll say this: a lot of great energy, a lot of female energy out. As I said, and maybe I mentioned this last night, maybe I didn't. It's like the Divine Feminine came to me, and she generally comes to me like in the Virgin realm. And this was cool about guides. It's like I was in the Virgin realm and I was kind of like just like I really pushed through and I'm like really, concentrating really to hold this. And I'm just looking at the fractals and stuff. And there the guy goes by. But she was like a giant. Look how Queen Elizabeth looked when she was young. This is how the chick looked. She like flew by with a giant head and she smiled at me because she was like, you made it without my help. So she came through yesterday. First is, I don't even know if y'all even know who this person is, Zsa Zsa Gabor. Green Acres. You got to look at, because it was Zsa Zsa, it was 2 Gabor. It was actually 3 Gabor sisters and their mama. They was Hungarian chicks. Ava Gabor, that's who. She played on Green Acres. I love Green Acres. But so I closed my eyes and Ava Gabor is right there. And I'm like, not getting it. I'm like, Ava Gabor? What the fuck? Well, I don't ever think about you, Ava. So why are you here? And then it changed into more of a Hathor. And I was like, oh, okay. This is the energy around. All right. And it happens. This kind of stuff happens like this. The communication is like these quick communications, like you got to get it. It's like, I'm a little slow today. 8-Win, what sport you play? I mostly play pickleball now. Damn, Pontiac, just play alone. Name that Pete. Just play alone, yeah. Floyd featuring Lil Wayne All Around the World was a dope twist on the Rakim. That's a good one. That's a real good one. United Drills, Black Trunks, good one. Well, sport, I hooped and I played football. I hooped in high school, and I hooped and played football in high school. And then in college, I played football, and then afterwards I played semi-pro football and I played semi-pro basketball. Semi-pro football ain't fun. I'll tell you that. That shit is not fun. That is the most abusive thing you can do to your body for very little money. Very little money. I mean, I was playing the higher levels. We was getting, I think the first games was $500, but some of them games was like 250 to play football. You know, you go into camp and get a bonus, you know, you ain't gonna come out of there with less than 10. And then there you are, you know, even if you get cut, you keep your bonus money, you know. Uh I can't name that pimp, but the coldest line in the movie came from Gone in the Wind. Oh yeah. You know, and the brother, you know, that's a brother. Clark Gable is a brother. And he told that whole break day, he broke her down. Like, I don't give a damn. She's like, well, what's going to happen to me? Bitch, I don't care. I don't, frankly, my dear, I don't give a fuck what happens to you. This bitch done made a curtain and shit to look good. I mean, look up Clark Gable when they made that movie. They wasn't letting this, you know, you got all these hands and, you know, these grips, and, you know, the grips build the shit. You got all these people that's building this shit, and you got porta potties, like 20, 30 porta potties, and they was trying to tell all the brothers on the set, and this is a massive movie complex, and they were trying to tell them that they got to walk on the other side of the movie place to go to use the bathroom. Clark Gable was like, look, y'all on some bullshit. We got 20, 30 porta potties out here. And this porta potties back in the, what, 50s, 60s? Is it that big a deal? Make them maybe go down there a little further. Just stupid shit. But you know, he's the one. Dr. Westling said Clark Gable, even though he's a short dude, tall, dark, and handsome. That has been Hollywood's idea, brother. Idea super dude, tall, dark, and handsome. Hey, conspiracy. Oh, we had a good conversation. That's my main man. UGK featuring Outkast, international players. I choose you sample. Good one. That's right. Good one. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Oh yeah, he pimped on her. He pimped on her. He should have slapped her. They should have had a slap there too. He should have, like, while he was saying it, like, frankly, my dear, you know, you hear the sound of the slap come in, and maybe he could hold a cigarette like Al Pacino did in Godfather 2 when he slapped his girl. Put a cigarette or cigar in one hand and slapped her with the other hand. Frankly, my dear, I don't. I don't know. The Yankees is coming, but they talk about poor white trash. Don't talk to them. They poor white trash. Which gets me into, I finished this book. The Bloody Shirt. I mean, what you have to understand about what Reconstruction and what was allowed. Now, I listened to a dude argue there wouldn't have been enough Northern troops, which is not necessarily true. If these people was really into humanities, what should have happened after the Civil War was the federal government should have occupied the South until the 60s. That's really how long it would have taken to turn that area around. And I've had several projections seeing how that turned out. Vietnam didn't happen. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit that just didn't happen. But that's really what was needed. And what was done, it wasn't that there was a lot of lynchings, but murder was encouraged. Rifle clubs were paid for. It was a time where repeating percussion rifles, which they had during the Civil War, but you also had to come in Winchesters in the 1870s. Winchester repeating longer range rifles against people with the old Civil War guns and pistols. They were outgunned, and a lot of money was raised, given to these defeated Southern troops in a lot of cases, with the blessing of the Union people. And this is the history that we can't afford to be forgotten. Instead of teaching Juneteenth, we should teach the real slavery and the real violence that was allowed from the 1870s, really until when Cheney and them got killed in the 60s, when the Klan killed the 3 young boys, to Jewish faith and American Indian and buried them in the dam. This is how long the murder was allowed. Now, I think Super Sly and I did a great, if you didn't see that show about Emmett Till, go back and look at it. We did a great breakdown. I don't believe Emmett Till was real. Believe that head and that body is just, that's some makeup shit. That ain't real. That is not real. And even, you know, the connection I kind of have with through the Mowglis with Till, that wasn't a real event. It was just more of the terror. That's why the postcards was allowed. It was a part of terror. It was a part of mental. It was like an elephant. You tie an elephant's leg to somewhere, the rest of his life when he tied up, he think he can't get away. Well, they put all this terror, and at times the terror was real. They ran people off property, stole their land, ran them off the property, and then, you know, went on the land long enough to say, well, you know, they left the land, didn't pay their taxes. So this was what drove a lot to the northern factories. Now, the northern factories needed workers. There wasn't, again, a lot of people died in the Civil War. But coming into the 20s, you know, a lot of northern factories wanted anybody that would just work, put out them cars. And so that rose too. Now, what you know, looking at it, and I know this is going in a different direction, but what you have to understand is what that created Motown. Now, yes, it's still entertainment. And then later we see the same thing. And I say this over and over again. We see the same thing done in Dayton, Ohio, where we see the funk movement, the Midwest funk, continue. That George Clinton, a bunch of them invented, but George Clinton, Sly and the Family Stone. I say Archie Bell and the Drells too, because if you listen to the Tighten Up, look up the Tighten Up. The Tighten Up was definitely funk. Come on, you got to tighten up. I listen to that song every day. It was a clapping part, hand clap. And I talk about it all the time. I bet Archie Bell. The thing people would do to stay in the spotlight. Sang the Tighten Up in the parking lot. Oh, that book. Yeah. This book here. Yeah, I didn't pay very much for it. I didn't pay very much for this book. Yep. I probably paid slightly around there. I bought a book called God's Bankers. That book is going to be the bomb. That twin had a Fugo. My guy. Oh, thank you. PJ said what I mean, this is the World Series. Yeah, 80-91 World Series edition thing. Agreed. I don't know much about the team, but the fit is casual sharp. Well, thank you. Tell it, Unc. I talked to Steve Arrington in the early 2000s. Yeah, I love Steve Arrington. Steve Arrington sings, "How good it is. I just want to tell you, baby, I'm falling in love. I'm falling in love again. How good it is. I just want to tell you." Oh, he made that song his own. As I said before, my ex-wife liked Flower by New Birth. Steve Arrington, before he was with Slave, was with New Birth. And so his best hits is Falling in Love and then Wildflower. But Steve Arrington can go. What did he say? Make me high just a little bit. Just a little bit with just a touch of love. Yeah. Can we spend more time? And you know, the dudes from Slave was dudes that went to Michigan. Like I talk about my friend that's a Michigan Hall of Famer long jumper, All-American, all Big Ten. Just the Olympics was fucked up. 1980, they boycotted the Olympics. That was his shot at going to the Olympics, was 1980. He would have made the Olympic team as our long jumper, excuse me. But he went to school with them dudes, Slave. You know, listen to Slave, Son of Slave, boom. Boom, 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 boom. I've said this before. If when I create my world, I'm going to take a heavenly bass with me, and every day, twice a day, I'm going to play that Slave beat. Boom, 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 just to let the people know that I'm thinking about them every day. Every day they'll be like, "Well, what time is? We ain't heard the bass." You know, I'd be like, doing nigga shit, be late sometimes. Like, well, they're going crazy. They're like, "Hey, the guy didn't play the bass today. What's going on?" Me, I'd be just flowing around and shit. And I'm like, oh shit, damn, okay. Then I had to get on the bass. I'm like, I'm sorry, a little late, but they're like, well, most of the time he's on time. We was getting a little nervous, guy, but we listen to the bass. Thank you, PJ. Thank you, PJ. Yeah, have you heard anything about Rockefeller and JP Morgan building houses on top of sacred altars, houses where the idea came from the Federal Reserve? Well, yeah, that goes back to that really goes back to DC. I mean, you think, like, look at the grid that DC is on. It's all gridded. It's all a grid. I mean, the grid is all a pentagram. I mean, if you look at everything is Masonic about what they've done. From going to Lincoln or going from Washington. I mean, hell, look what they put up in Washington. They put Osiris's penis in the middle. And it's interesting that they didn't know enough to put a generator. They still put an obelisk. An obelisk ain't a generator. And so how do you think they push what they're pushing? Why do you think the Christians originally built on that Maryland? So of course. I mean, this is a practice you can look up, you can just do a Google search. You can look up all the strongest ley lines in the world, and everywhere they have a ley line. Somebody made a video about that. That's how I got that. But everywhere there's the strong ley lines, they're there. So they are there. The best ones in the world. As I said, the people in South America, one of the Mexico cities, they had a heads up, and they built. It was like the biggest pyramid in the world is in Mexico, and the pyramid is so big that they completely covered it. The Spanish thought it was a mountain, and some people told them what it really was. They started digging, seeing a little bit. They put a church, the oldest building in the Americas. The oldest building is a Spanish building on this pyramid, and that's what they did all in Mexico City. So they use this energy. They use this American energy. Don't think they don't. Oops. So of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Just a touch of love. My homeboy is Mark Arky. He tours playing in place of his dad Mark, who was the lead guitarist in Slave, as a son of Slave. Okay, bad. Oh, when they came out with that dum 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 dum. And again, it's heavy bass mixed with funk. Because people, what you have to understand about, like, the difference between Parliament and Funkadelic, when you hear Parliament, you hear Flashlight, you're hearing Bernie Worrell, replacing the bass with the keyboard. Everything is just keyboard. Bernie Worrell just killing it. And when you hear Funkadelic, you've got Mike Kidd, and I saw him play several times. Michael Hampton, Gary Schreider, all of them guitar players. Funkadelic is more of the hard rock. I mean, what is the song? Let Me Eat Your Pussy, Pussy. Remember that one? He did on Saturday Night Live. Y'all remember when George Clinton was on Saturday Night Live and he sang that song? Let me eat your pussy, Pussy. And he on Saturday Night Live and they booted him off, never brought him back. Y'all remember that? You can find that. But like when you get not just Knee Deep, when you get the remix, you get Kim Funkadelic, where he starts playing this, he starts mimicking the singing. I mean, it's just that's some of the best. And Maggot Brain, the original player, Eddie Hazel, yeah, and Eddie Hazel does California Dreaming too, which is kind of cool, very Hendrix-like. I know Super Sly was saying that what's the European dude, Ray Vaughan, he was saying how he copied Jimi Hendrix. But I would say Eddie Hazel had more of the essence, because in California Dreaming you can hear All Along the Watchtower. Eddie Hazel throws that in, All Along the Watchtower, not played by Bob Dylan, it's played by Jimi Hendrix. So Eddie Hazel was a bad boy, but so was Michael Hampton, Gary Schreider. Funk, get ready to roll. Funk, get ready to roll. You ain't listened to that George Clinton song. He said that he sang that song on Saturday Night Live. Yeah. He sang like their one song, and then that was the second song. I can't remember maybe it was Atomic Dog. It's like, I think that's what it was. His first song was Atomic Dog. So this had to be 80, 81. So the first song he sung was Atomic Dog. And I said before, I met George Clinton in Greensboro. He didn't perform. And really, I was just walking around the Coliseum just high. I was just high walking around the Coliseum. It was between acts and shit. And he walked right by me. I was like, God damn, George Clinton. And he talked to me for a minute. He's like, damn, what's on that shit you got? I'm like, fine, where I'm sitting and you can get something. But his son performed. And that's where I saw Sly Stone. He didn't perform. He was too high. And then they brought Roger Troutman in a jockstrap. So I don't want to hear shit about. And Gary Schreider and them used to wear the diapers too on stage. George Clinton wore dresses a lot of times. So, but yeah, Gary Schreider used to wear the diaper too. But Roger Troutman used to wear a jockstrap. They brought him like we was on the floor at the Greensboro Coliseum. And Roger Troutman, they used to carry Roger Troutman on stage every time. They would carry him from the back and he would be carried through stage. I'd hate to be, the cheeks is out like that because he played with a jockstrap. They carried him. I'm like, God damn, mother got a jockstrap. And then sure enough, he got down, but he got down. Roger Troutman got down. Because he was part of them. He was playing with, that's before Roger Troutman was given his single. He was playing with the Funk Mob. Hell of an entertainer. Sad the way he died. Really sad. Banneker designed DC sacred geometry type shit. I pressure black folks in the Black Hood. I presume black folks in the Brotherhood. That story, there's two parts to that story. The Mason that designed it to all this occult specification had already designed it. They had already designed, he had designed it. They had, put out the sticks and they did all the measurements and everything. What is the word I'm looking for? George Washington was one, not inspecting, but, measuring the sites and stuff, measuring the distances. They had already done all that. The whole city was done. So they had already did all the measurements for the whole city. The pentagraphs was already done, the points where they was going to put everything. The dude took all his plans and quit over some money dispute. And Banneker had a what they call a photographic memory and remembered all the measurements and remembered the layout. So he wasn't the actual one that came up with the masonry magic that they put into that. However, he supported it. And he was brilliant. I mean, hell, he built a clock that worked for what they said 75 years out of wood. They said his wooden clock worked for 70-some years. He was the first one. Benjamin Banneker was the first one that wrote wrote down about cicadas. And now cicadas come every 15 years. He's the first one that noticed that too. So deep brother. I wish I hadn't looked, man. What the? Yeah, jockstrap. Yeah, copy. I come to school. Copy this. I come to school. Oh yeah, look it up. That's the name of the song. It's on that's an old song. Oh, okay, because that should be on the album. I want to say the Sam album. It's a song where they say she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She's talking about the woman coming. That's like she's be coming around. I think it's on the album with that song too. But yeah, you can find that song. It's on there. But yeah, he's. I think it was the second song though. They let him sing it though. They didn't cut it. The only person I ever saw him cut, and I don't even know what he said, was Elvis Costello. They cut Elvis Costello. He sang some stuff and he was like acting really weird, like heroined out. But they cut it. That was the only time I ever saw them cut. They let George Clinton sing that shit. I was like, oh. Because technically it ain't a bad word, it ain't cussing technically. But they never had him on again. They have never had George Clinton on again. I don't think I'm going to go 2 hours tonight, but I feel pretty good. I really like these edibles. I like the idea of not smoking and just be on, I was playing tennis, I was nice buzz, just playing pickleball, just, the buzz. And then, 6th, 7th game, drinking all this beer. I drink the last couple of nights. I drank 4 or 5 beers each night, so the cardio just wasn't there. But I'm playing again tomorrow. If it doesn't rain, build back up. So, had to take a couple muscle relaxers. My back was a little worse. But yeah, so it's school being out. The neighborhoods are going to be taken over by children again, which is such an interesting phenomenon. It's like you pretty much don't see the children. They're not playing video games, but you just don't see them because of the regimen of school. I remember going into a record store back in the day as a teenager. My dad sat in the car. There was badass woman cashiers. I came to the car like, Dad, this woman fine. He said, boy, that. Like, Dad, this woman fine. It's Roger's baby mama. Wow. And I'll tell you, it's an interesting phenomenon when you're with a really pretty woman and meet a really pretty woman. Like I've said, my son that you see, he had all kind of problems going to school. And so from going into second grade, it was really cool. I met like all these administrators came, but the head of the department, the head of the special education department. And what's funny is this chick was like not only just beautiful, but she was wearing all the shit too. The clothes was all just like, she was out of place. Like she was beautiful, out of place. And she running this meeting. Me and her are kind of running this meeting. I'm just talking to her just to look at her because this chick was so bad. Second time I saw this, went to a gay couple. Well, I guess my daughter's mother's friend, him and his roommate were both gay, and a lot of people there. This dude's mama came in. She was like all Prada outfit, and like we all laid our coats down. She had like a leather Prada coat. She had leather Prada shoes, and I'm not saying that the shoes, but I'm just saying it was like, and she was maybe slightly older than me or slightly younger, but but I mean, it was just, she was so well put together. I was like, whoa, what are you doing here? And them excuses, when you go to a club with somebody, excuses, you see somebody else you want to go say hi to at least. Like, hey, I can't talk to you, but I want to say hello. That kind of deal. Edibles take so long for me to feel it. I'll try again soon. It's been a couple of years. Oh, I'm telling you, this stuff I took, I talked about this last night. I took, because they ran out of I got like one more of the pack of the edibles I showed that are 50 milligrams of THC and beta 8, I think it's called. But I bought some other that's 100 milligrams. And the girl, when I bought them, said, I wouldn't take one. So I cut it in half and took it yesterday, and I was so buzzed in work. Like I said, I wanted to call 911 and say, I'm at work and I'm a little too high. Well, that's the problem. What's your emergency? I think y'all need to come check on me. I'm high the motherfucker up in this motherfucker. Somebody needs to check on me. I was that high, but just keeping busy and shit. So this stuff, I don't know. This stuff really comes in pretty strong. I took the last one at 11, and it's like I'm looking at my eyes slowly pinking up. Yeah, look at that. They're slowly pinked up. They weren't pinked up when I started. Let's see. Peace to you, brother. Unplug him. Did you ever do the Knowledge to Chaka Khan's album cover for Naughty? I love Chaka, but the front and back pictures are suspect. Wow, interesting. I saw Chaka Khan. I saw her perform, and she used to wear this huge wig. I mean, the wig was like this, like on her shoulders, and she got too close to the guitar player, and this was at Western Michigan, and he was playing and shit, and got too close to him and snatched the wig off during the performance. I'll say Sweet Thing is probably in my top 10 of favorite all-time songs by a woman. Yeah, Sweet Thing by Chaka Khan. But that whole album, Show me the way, going to Hollywood, on our way to Hollywood. Show me the way, and then tell me something good with Sweet Thing. That whole album was nice. But yeah, she worked for them folks. You know, they said she was a Black Panther. I never had a fine teacher, but things changed. My daughter's old teacher was hot though. I'm 41, but still, I'd be like, dang, teachers don't look like that back in my day. My son's kindergarten teacher was really pretty too. Uh, Delta 8 is hemp and CDB Delta 9 from the weed plant, like the flower we smoke. Well, what they do though now, and what's legal is they put the Delta 8, the Delta 9, and they put THC in it. That's what they selling up here because it's becoming more and more legal. And so that's what the first things I had. I bought some other ones. I mean, I just like that it just, you can take this later and you ain't got to do all the smoking, because my rigs and smoking through a big ass bone. It's. And then I broke my other thing. I saw they messaged me so I can get the piece. Papaline. Delta 8 is the real stuff. Delta 9 is the real stuff. Yeah, the first the little bag I showed it had Delta 8 and Delta 9. Yeah, the THC. It had the THC in it too. Really strong little ones. Um, this other stuff comes in stronger. I say the effects don't last as long as the other stuff. I would say that. But I've taken only just 2 today. It's great to wake up and take a gummy. Man, you know, it is great. Better than caffeine. Better than caffeine. So that's what I like about it. I wake up, take one, kicks in pretty quick. Now I just like drinking coffee. Watch people. I watched one. I remember I had a temporary job at one of the Japanese factories, and I watched a lady in 15 minutes smoke like 6 cigarettes. I've talked about this before many times. She smoked 6 cigarettes in 15 minutes. Didn't think that was possible. Imagine what it's like for her now. I bet she on oxygen. I bet if she's alive, she on oxygen. But I watched that lady. I was like, wow, you need that much nicotine. She doesn't need the nicotine patch. She needs the nicotine mummy roll. You know how the mummy was rolled up? That's what they need to do is they need to put all the nicotine in the mummy roll and roll her ass up and let her walk around like the mummy. Patch ain't gonna be enough for her. My new favorite Shaka song is I Need You. I think that's the title. Had a background singer gig in January and we sing a version of it. The band goes off. I love that music here. Oh, me too. Wow. Me too. That's sweet, Liquid Fire. That's sweet. I don't know, I've said the Nita Baker stories. Nita Baker is the feistiest little short ass woman you'd ever want to see. Would embarrass me and shit. Be running late trying to make her shows and talk shit. Talk shit. Like, okay, you want me to sing Angel, but you come late. Like, really? Like, why? Why you busting me out? I'm walking through there. I'm all clean and shit, but and she do just this little woman. What is she? She's like about my mother's side, like 5 foot. This little bitty old woman. Talk shit. Like, I'm sorry I'm late. But yes, still sing Angel. I'm not gonna sing Angel because you came in late. Talking shit like, damn, lady, I love when you sing Angel Live. Anita Baker singing Angel Live. Only you can wait. Only you can make it real. Only you can make it right. You are my angel. Nobody sings that song better than her. I know a lot of people, Real Love, Same Old Love, but no, her on her older album, her first album, Angel by Anita Baker is probably my all-time favorite song. Used to kick it with an older gal. She kept a cigarette. I can't date. I was an adult when I noticed how short she was. Oh yeah, she's short and feisty. Short and feisty little lady. And she's probably a couple years older than me too. Nita's probably I'm about to be 61. She probably 63, 64, if not even older. She's older than me. Sean's father managed her. Well, Sean's father managed the first group she was in. and then she broke away from that group, and then she went on her own, and she put out Angel. And seeing that in Detroit live, yeah. Favorites, probably female singer of all time is Nita Baker, even though I love others, but her live, I've never seen a female singer better. Now, I did see Chaka Khan. She did about 3 songs before she left stage. I've seen Aretha Franklin live. You know, overweight, smoked cigarettes. Wasn't impressed. Not as much as Anita Baker. I was more impressed with Anita Baker. Shaking Up a Storm. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Anita Baker embarrassed me. Embarrassed me. Like, fuck. Tim Allen too. Tim Allen was like that too. Tim Allen smoked the joint. No, he didn't hit the joint. I'm out there smoking the joint. And I might have smoked another joint. And I went one of his shows late. No, my goodness, he gave it to me. And no. First time he gave it to me, I was sitting close. And, you know, I had my head shaved. And he started talking about head shaves. I'm like, yeah, I'll come up on stage and beat your ass. Keep it up. He just laughed. But the second time, I sat in the back, luckily. He's like, oh, okay, you come in late. Because I used to go with, if he was in Kalamazoo at Zany's, I used to go see Tim. It was the thing to do when you had money and was hustling. Everybody, all the hustlers would be up in there. It's downtown Kalamazoo. You know, something new. You know, you got your own tables. They, you know, reserve shit. You got this dude talking shit about me. When I'm around all these powerful people that would help me beat his ass. Sade over Shaka. Yeah, I would say, I would kind of agree. This is no ordinary love. Oh yeah. Or yeah, I might have to go with you on that. She's a favorite of mine. She's back at it. Been through a whole lot. But yeah, Conspiracy. I might have to go with you over that. Might have to go with Sade over Shaka too. Yeah, this is no ordinary love. You know, it's pimp music. That's high vibrational music that they want to get rid of. As I said before, you know, a love song, especially most songs in the 60s, is like 2 minutes and 30, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. I mean, some is 3 minutes. These is quick little songs to raise your vibration. Like listen to More Love by Smokey Robertson. My cousin that kind of broke it down on Facebook, he was talking about it's like if you listen to, because he's like, no, let's make love, don't wait, open your heart and let my love come in. But you can hear how the song builds up to a crescendo. You know, the song is just building, and that is one great master of producing and writing and singing. Smokey and is in More Love to show all that in that short little song. But that's pimp words. Open your heart and let my love come in. if they ain't ever pimp words, oh no, you didn't. Oh no, you didn't. She's a class act and beautiful. No, you didn't. Oh, Superwoman. Karen White. I want to say I saw Karen White live. Yeah, she has range like a motherfucker. Karen White, yeah. And Superwoman ain't even. She got some slow songs. That album with Superwoman on it. Karen White showed her range. But yeah, I saw Karen White live. Forgot all about that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the slow song on that album. Because Superwoman is what really put her kind of over the top. But she had some. Because I remember having I think it was still CD or cassettes. When Karen White was on, I think it was still cassettes. Ha, man, got the Ken Herbert. Oh, yeah. But yeah, Karen White, I dug Karen White. That Dion and the Belmonts get me every time. Run around Sue. Oh, yeah. I got you. I like that one too. Wow, I saw somebody sing that. I saw Shana Na. Yeah. I saw Shana Na live sing that song. Yep. Love saw it. Okay, Love saw it. Yeah, Love saw it. I was a child singing Superwoman like I knew. Love saw it. Yeah, her whole CD though. That whole CD was nice. Whole CD. Love saw it. Karen White and Babyface. Oh yeah, I loved Karen White. She did have good range, and got a chance to see her. I got a chance to see a lot of people, a lot of concerts. And I'll say this: like rap concerts, like even watching Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, I saw that. I was like, wow, how is this gonna survive with just you dudes up there? I just really looked at it as a production thing when you got the dude on the turntable, which was Grandmaster, and you got all of them rapping. But what it turned into was pretty much putting on the hits. And as I said before, the baddest musician I personally saw, other than the guitar players for the Scorpions, was that dude from the System. And we talked about that before. That dude from the System was the real deal. No drums, no bass, just three guitars. He's doing everything. And me and my boy is tripping off that snowflake acid, and we're listening to this dude. Now we done watched Grandmaster Flash. We done seen the girl, You Know How to Love Me, Florence, not Henderson, maybe Brick. But that dude from the System, You Are My System. Oh, that shit builds up. When that dude is working that thing, they did that shit live, and it's just three other guitars, the lead singer, two guitars, he got a guitar, and he started hitting that shit day by day and night by night. And then you hear the bass coming in and the drums working out, are in my system. And this dude is going crazy on this keyboard and computer. He's just, oh man, that was the best live shit. Love Saw was the duet with Babyface. Uh, Love Saw it has that violin in it. Yes. Ken White, The Way You Love Me, that's it. Yes, The Way You Love Me. Yep, that's it right there. Me Up, Temple Jam. Yeah, The Way You Love Me. Yeah, that whole album was nice. Phyllis Hyman, yeah, Phyllis. And she talks shit too. She stole my beer. That was probably the first. I'll say this, other than Dana Delaney, that was the only Hollywood person that I loved. I loved her, no doubt about that. When I got to meet her, I loved that chick. And I only got to meet her twice, but I loved her. I definitely loved her. Tall, pretty, well-spoken, attitude. And she talked about building up the community. That might have been why they offed her. She talked about building up the communities. Remember the System got their break in the Crush Groove. Yeah, they in Crush Groove too. They don't sing You In My System, though. They sang another song that was kind of whack. You know who else? Brenda K. Starr. Brenda K. Starr is in that shit too. Well, no, Brenda K. Starr is in Beat Street. Right? Beat Street. Brenda K. Starr. Yeah, she's in Beat Street. And Brenda K. Starr is Nick Cannon's wife's cousin. And Brenda K. Starr. Well, we know that or not Brenda K. Starr, but I can see Nick Cannon's ex, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey's sister, she was in the business, and Mariah Carey hints that she was in the business too. But it appeared like Brenda K. Starr kind of was in the business before them two. So don't know if she was a handler, can't say. But remember, I think it's Beat Street she's in. My first concert was MC Hammer and Boyz II Men. It was amazing back then. Folks flipped out. I rocked the Cross Colors outfit. TLC was supposed to be there too. Didn't know much until much later about T-Boz. I bet. Okay. I don't even remember my first concert. I can't remember which one it was. Oh, She Was Ill. Okay. Yeah, B Street. Yeah. My dad took me to that concert and Jodeci performed. Them fools was humping on the stage. Yeah, Brenda K. Starr, Beat Street. Yeah, Brenda K. Starr, Beat Street. Yeah. Love is Contagious, I think, was Brenda K. Starr's song, and then Mariah did it, but Brenda K. Starr wrote it. Love is Contagious, I think. Brenda K. Starr was cute. She was cute. She was real cute. Didn't really take off, but the same type like Mariah, light skinned, cute girl that could sing. Yeah. Me and Sly was talking about that, it seemed like, because there was some reports that Brenda K. Starr was doing the same thing. I don't know. I was so disappointed TSC couldn't make it, but boy, the concert was lit. My first time, my ears rang. It lasted for hours after the show. My little brother had a fresh high top fade, 80s, 90s for you. Like I heard Corey talking about Jabot stuff, and I don't ever remember wanting that shit. I don't ever remember that being like that exclusive. That might have been a Chicago thing, but I don't remember that because I was in Chicago and Detroit. I don't remember like going to the store like, hey, I gotta have these Jabots. Like listening to MC Breeze, Acid or what was it called? Used Jeans. Remember Used and Damaged? I don't know if y'all remember them clothes. Used and Damaged. Then Cross Colors came in. Cross Colors, Used, Damage. Ooh La La, Saisons. J.C. Penney's was selling Saisons. I saw MC Hammer twice. I saw him before MC Hammer broke. I saw him perform 85 in a skating rink in Chula Vista. Oh, okay, all biz. I told this story before. The first time I saw him, he killed it in Michigan. I don't remember even who was with him. I think the first time was me and my first wife. And then the second time we took my sister and her best friend. And he had him. This is the only time I ever saw a performer have everybody at the crowd in the palm of his hand and then throw it back and give it to him. Because once he started singing them praise songs, it was literally from people screaming, dancing, and jumping around. He got to singing that "You Got to Pray." Everybody just sat down, and he lost the crowd. He lost it, and it was interesting because he had more performers, more dancers, but singing all these church songs. Yeah. So I was disappointed seeing the second time. Oh shit, I've been going for a minute. Yeah, look at the eyes. My shit's red. This shit's the creeper. All this stuff creeps in so nice. Oh, and oh my goodness, the motherfucking meditations is wonderful. Love is Amazing. Love is Contagious. I thought it was a Brenda K. Starr. Had a cult following in the tri-state, New York, New Jersey area. It's called the Freestyle Music. She's still performing. Okay, good for her. She's gotta be. She ain't much younger than me. She can't be that much younger than me. Because in Beach Street, we was both in our 20s. In 85, yeah, I was 24. So she wasn't that much younger than me. She gotta be in her 50s. She gotta be. That's why you look at all these cats, Run DMC, Curtis Blow, older than me. Ice-T older than me. These cats is well into their 60s. LL got to be 50. I told the story about LL. One of my dudes I was coaching was from New York. I was coaching him high school ball. And he's like, that guy they call LL, his name is Tim or Todd. Because Elmo Hill was his name. Elmo. No. Esco Hill. I got to look up Esco Hill. I don't know. Last time I heard he was in local jail, and I never heard anything else about him. Esco. But he was from New York. He's the first dude walked around. I saw walking around with the clock. He came back from Christmas break and had the clock. Esco. Hope that brother's still alive. But he would have to be in his 40s. I had some Jabots. There was a Texas thing through Scarface. I always said something about clothing line all the time. Okay. Yeah, I've had a few of those too. Shit, we used to go to Gucci store, get the Gucci's, the real Gucci shit, The Gucci all around. They had a Gucci store in Chicago. They had a Gucci store in Chicago then they had the Gucci outlet in Chicago too. And you buy them shoes from the outlet, the lifetime warranty. I hate somebody took my shoes because you send them in, they redo everything to the shoe, repolish and everything. Lifetime warranty on them shoes, even if you bought them from the outlet. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about them shoes. I love them little soft little shoes. But moving, somebody took them or they got thrown away. I don't know. Hey James, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. And everybody watching, you know, if you say something or not, it's always good to see everybody. I have a little give and take with people, and thank you for rocking with me under this, you know, this situation. But I'll say this mic, better than the condenser mics, because when I use the condenser mic, it doesn't pick up the singing bowls. It really doesn't pick up this shit picks up all the noise, but it sounds best with the singing bowls. So, but so thank you. You know, this is like so, but other shit to do. Equipment's coming, so just use it until the rest of the shit come. That's all. So thank you for rocking with me. I appreciate it. I went to a John B concert and there he threw a cup. I got some of the liquid on my face and tasted it. It was he drank liquor, that dark liquor. It was Henny. Bump his music. You know, I was supposed to go see him somewhere and something happened. I didn't go to the concert. Somebody had tickets because I just wanted to go see him. He was smooth. He was smooth and sung, you know, love music. I don't care who sang it. It's the vibration. He put out good vibration music. I mean, you know, he ended up being a character, you know, in a lot of ways too. That's how they use cats. Act like the cat's got to be, you know, like you crooning and you got to be a crooner. Just sing. That's it. That's the talent. The talent is just the ability to get up there and sing with the confidence. And somebody can tell them to stop the music and they just start singing. Shoot. I saw Isaac Hayes, Earth, Wind, and Fire a few times. I saw the Jacksons, Jackson 5. Saw Michael by himself. Prince in 83. Yeah, Prince in 83. Prince was a motherfucker. He was 82, 80. He was right. Purple Rain. They did a concert tour, Purple Rain concert tour. And the old dude I went to work with was he was a greeter, ticket taker there. And he's like, "You want to go see Prince? I got a couple tickets." I'm like, "Yes." So me and the ex went to both shows. And they was both sold out. The Greensboro Coliseum still exists. What's happening? Cat Matt. That's my son. This is my son right here. Definitely my son. Unless, yeah, that's him. That ain't Matt. That's my son. 8 win. If you was back to college, what would you get? Wow. Down. I think the shoe deals is the best deals, but it's so many different opportunities. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Because when you play in college, what people forget is a lot of times you catch the attention of a lot of different people. I mean, a lot of people support colleges. And so it's not unthought of as a U.S. senator, local mayor. I mean, it's a lot of different people you can run across up. So it's a lot of opportunities that come around. So, wow, yeah, probably the shoe thing, but local businesses. What we see one. Gosh, who is it? Yeah, one guy that's playing in the fall already is in a contract. So, and then the dude who did the Alabama quarterback did the Dr. Pepper commercial, got $1 million for 5 seconds on the screen. So, but the deal is to get the deal in, you know, really get it in the AAU. Got a 4-pack of Busch Light and a ball, watching some Pontiac chilling. That sounds J Money. That sounds cool. An 8 ball. That sounds cool. White jersey with the white fitted and red brim. Go crazy. Thank you, Michael. It was just the Twins gear. I got plenty of Twins gear. I like the Twins. I got hoodies and all that shit. I probably got more Twins. Well, I don't know. I got about 6 twin hats. And that ain't including the old hats that I just bum around in. But they're cheap. They're getting less cheap. Everything is getting less cheap. But I buy so much from Lids that I get pretty good deals. So that's all. As they just work. Like, how many hats you got? Probably shit. Probably 100, if not more. If not more. Shit, I probably got 15 bucket hats. I play a lot of pickleball with bucket hats too. 8 ball love. Love to you, Big Pontiac. Got to run. That's all right. Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Ron Davis. No, Ron Davis. I don't know that name. Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe him. Yeah, maybe it was Ron Davis. Yeah, maybe him. Yeah. Make me, you'd have to do it on a computer. You had to have a computer to do that. You can't do it on these, I don't think. No, you can't do it on this. I'd have to do it on a computer. But I'd get it done. When you think Brian got his back blowed out to get initiated. Before that movie, he wasn't, that Amy Schumer movie. When he was in the Amy Schumer movie, remember? Back then. You ain't Michael Jordan too. Don't let Michael Jordan off the hook, even though he only did Space Jams. Michael Jordan, when you enter the Hollyweird, it's Hollyweird. You can't get away with that. So, yeah, I had to do it on the computer. So back in that Amy Schumer movie, that's when they started going into mansions. They exposed magic on Winning Time. They exposed magic. They showed sex ritual magic with magic. Because they showed one aspect of the movie aspect, and then they showed the freak aspect. And then magic was with that. So that's interesting that they put that out there. He didn't like it. I know he didn't like it. None of them. Yeah, Magic Johnson. They showed that sex magic that he was doing. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do a little exercise, so you can follow along or not. It's fine. Let's see what I want for me. How I want to push it out. Okay, I'll push it out like this. Right. Let me. Okay. It's funny, like with spiritual stuff, you gotta sterilize it too, sterilize things too. The name Magic all seems clear now. Magic was getting it in Jack. You think they kill us by the numbers exactly at a precise time? Let's take a little more. I'll take a little more with that. How do you think they're killing us? By the numbers exactly, the precise time? Well, if that was done, that would give more credence to that we live in. Well, that would just give credence to. How do I want to answer this? All right. I think what you mean is more than common people, because for each individual does not really, well, most people, the numbers are not built up like that for most people. Now, if the person is involved and for some reason the person has to be involved or the name is involved in an event, and then all that usually does play out and come out. They'll like, well, look at all these numbers that you can correlate to the individual. But just a normal person, now that would work for family members that thought and looked at something as like, okay, how you could do that to your own family and you could see a pattern there. But um so for not for everyone does it necessarily count like that, but for some. Pat Patterson vibes, Brick House, Brown exposed the business. Either you will service them or you get service, you get put on. Oh, good point. Or walk through the other doors. Nori spoke about. They've been talking about that for a long time. So I guess I'll answer as like if you looked into like what the fates was. So the fates was kind of like looking, I've said this many times, they say one of the things in Alexandria, not only did it talk about books from the past, it talked about books written about the future. And they think that Nostradamus and that Edgar dude up in Indiana, I think Edgar Lacey might have been a basketball player, but Edgar something. They think that these guys got some of that information, especially Nostradamus. It appeared like he got some of that information and just copied it over and said it came from him. But that would go more to fate. Now, does fate need you to die at a certain time where all these numbers correlate? If the computer generated everything, then it would have to be like that. But for average people, maybe not. I know they do births by the number with normal people as well. Sometimes they do, Key. Sometimes they do. But the problem you run up with is who's taking count. Like when normal people die, who takes count of how it adds up for the whole? Or even how it adds up the paper they put the name in. How does that really add up for the whole? How does the whole benefit from said numbers given to a said individual? That's my only thing. J Money, I mean, me and Mike finna slump. He just followed you. Okay, bet. Thank you. All right, I'm glad y'all made it safe. Have fun. What do you think about? I mean, nothing to think about. They've kind of laid off of it. I'm supposed to have the sphincter, stuck up my sphincter again because I'm 60. And they was like, well, if you can't do this business, you can't come up there and get sphinctered. I'm like, well, I'm getting sphinctered and, you've got me wrapped up and you're going to put me to sleep and I'm trusting you to sphincter me. But so that's where does the blood go from the mortuary? Yeah, it's a good thing too. Because you don't have to. Well, I mean, there's a lot of different laws involved, but you don't have to be embalmed. That's preservation. That come from the Civil War, preserving bodies. That's all that is. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna move on because I'm only gonna do about another 6-7 minutes. So, I do. In Winning Time, the relationship between Pat Riley and Westhead was possibly suspect. Symbolism, shower scene. Yeah, very suspect. Pat was already in. As it showed, they went in radio first, so Pat was kind of in. He was still part of LA. He played for several teams. I saw a couple cards come up for auction recently of Pat playing for another team. Forget he played for a couple teams, but yep. So, all right. I'm sorry, Buddha, that stuff is bothering you, but it helps what I'm doing. So sit in the window or something. But all right. Let me put put this one here. So I've showed this before. Concordiavite. Concordiavite from the boron open pit mine, Boron, Kern County, California. Concordiavite. You can get concordiavite from the same place. But it is the zoolite, and it's one of the stronger zoolites that scrubs. So I'm going to see no. I talked to the Awakened one earlier, and I just hear her head, and I hear her voice in the back of my head, and it's like, you try to do stuff that's invasive. Stop being invasive. I know I don't want to be invasive, but yet I want to kind of show people how things can be done. You think Westbrook bit that apple? I see him in a dress, most definitely. Most definitely. Dressbrook. Hey, did y'all see my short I did? I caught Robin Hood Men in Tights, and Dave Chappelle's wearing a dress and Robin Hood Men in Tights. Towards the end of the movie, I did a little short on it. So if y'all caught that, don't say you got mad. You don't wore the dress before. Now to say you gonna wear it again, that's a different thing. Okay. So I just want to see how long I can hold and push out shit that ain't serving you. So I don't know how long I can hold it. So I got some amps up here. I got these. I've got my quartz crystals amplifying for me. I got the Virgin amping, so I'm not gonna be able to hold it very long. But how do I want to do this? Okay, so just those that you want to participate, those that not, just listen. Just kind of clear your mind if you can. And if once you clear your mind and the you stop thinking, look at what thinks, and if that ain't you or not. Because if you're telling your mind to stop and the mind is still pushing, and it's something else charged there. And again, I don't know how long I can remove it, but just want to send this energy out of melting. That's about the best I can do. It's kind of like melting sand. You know, you put water on sand, it kind of melts. Guess that's the way I'll push it out. So again, you don't have to participate. If you feel I'm being obtruse, I'm penetrating too far, open your eyes. Because it'll stop. You open your eyes, it'll stop. So I don't really want to intrude, is what I'm saying. So I'm going to push it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And all I'm doing is looking to temporarily melt something that is not doing you any good. So as you hear my voice, whatever is not doing you any good, I want to use the zoolite to push energy out that's not doing you any good. And if you can hold the thoughts that are not yours, if you can bring to emotion what does not do you any good, that would probably help. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Okay. That was cool. All right. Oh, that energy came back. Thank you guys. Wow. That was really cool. That was cool. Somebody put some thankful energy out there. Thanks, whoever did that. Oh, I felt it. That was cool. So that's kind of how it is. That's how you can smoking some berry pie, tuning in from the Bay Area. Oh, nice. Thank you for joining me. Definitely nice. Keep forgetting when I wear silver, don't wear it against white stuff. Silver and white don't go together. I'm looking at all my shirts. I'm like, damn, I gotta take all these shirts to the cleaners. Yeah. Okay. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Appreciate the questions and the comments. Try to be real as I can be, helpful as I can be. That's part of being an elder. You want to be helpful. So, you know, I don't be out there like, I need donations. Where's the donations? You know, motherfuckers be tripping and shit. Nah, I give freely. You know, I give freely. I'm doing good and I'm looking good, you know. So I need a double dose of that energy. I feel you. I feel you. And you know, I'll put a special one for you, no doubt. I'll send you that positive, clearing energy for real. And that's the beautiful thing is finding, you know, great allies and other artists and hooking up with other artists and supporting other artists. Because this is what if we are not, you know, trying to build a bigger thing, you know, like just like me and PJ exchanging hats and stuff and just sending y'all stuff, you know, because that's what I really want to start doing is getting the Chocolate Mountaineer shirts and then send them out at first. Just send them out to people and then see afterwards. But at first, I just want to send this stuff. You know, I'll take my own expense to send this stuff out. Still working on the design, but that's I think makes more sense to me. People take the time to engage with me, so I send things out, send things out, send thanks and send things out, you know, because it takes some time to think of pick this shit out and send it, you know. Just like take the shit and kick it, you know, and hope the shit flies to you like shit. So, you know, thank you for engaging with me. I appreciate it. And try to give a little wisdom each time, a little realness. That's all. And so I am going to do the divination tonight. So I want to say, yeah, from the north. Yeah. And as I've said every time, directional energy is a great thing to work with because if you need a little push, and this is magic that's just there. This is just magic that's just there that it can't be turned off, can't be controlled. That's the more beautiful thing. If you study the Mayan and the Omen calendar, the Omen math, the Omen dates, if you study this stuff is continuing to move. That's why 2012 scared the shit out of them. This ain't them. This ain't this thing that was dreading 2012. This was prediction from the Mayans saying, hey, if your shit is something's gonna change. So they were scared about this because this was not their doing. This was not their clock. So tonight's card is, and again, this is the wave harmonic, which I love showing. You want to know what the sold is? I got sold, and I'm super bad. Okay, every damn time before the shit just pops up. No, I want it. This is that trickster shit. And this is big enough. And if you look at the similarities, this also means motion too. If you look at the similarities, the wave harmonic. Just another way of expressing it. I mean, like this calendar is also a kind of thing like these cards every day you can kick it with these every day. I mean, if you're really trying to manifest something, you could take this card and really kick it that day. Because I only give a brief description of the possibility, but this is a total all day energy when you mess this. So man, shrooms. Yeah, I just dude is supposed to bring me some. I forgot to grab them from him the other night. So he's supposed to bring me some back over. I bought 2 grams. Yeah, I bought 2 grams and I forgot to get it. Just saw LeBron wants to own an NBA team in Vegas. Yeah. Wow. Not surprised. Wow. So directional energy is something that's there for everybody. People don't want to use it and it's free. It's a free push. And it's SNOB. SNOB. It means knife or flint. Knife or flint. Its qualities are timelessness, discrimination, clarity, hall of mirrors, spiritual worship, sword of truth, facing shadow, integration of the paradox. Symbols are mirror or the sword. Numbers 18. Color is silver. Herbs is sage or pomegranate. Flower is orchid. Flower essence is violet water for self-forgiveness. Scents is lemon, wintergreen, or spearmint. Stones are optical calcite, diamond, phantom, crystals, or silver pyrite. It's an earth air element. Direction is the north. Uh, and the way that it would put you in the shadow of it is illusional judgment, self-doubt, separation, being caught in a problematical hall of mirrors, where you've seen a lot of your reflections and ain't none of them got the right answers. You break out of that. Quit looking outside yourself. It's in here. Thinking the illusion has power over you and your ability to change your experience. Not you, but you have power over the illusion. Look at the mirrors provided by other people and life situations as gifts. See how you maintain the illusion in your life. Use discrimination. Face your shadow. Look in the mirror. Weld the sword of truth in your life to release and forgive. The harmonic wisdom is the dissonance. So the mantra is alternate one arm at a time. Reach out above the head. Then you cross your arms diagonally in a downward sweep, as if so you're here and kind of, how, remember they used to do that. You probably do that too, but they're saying do it like this. And saying, I am the sword that is not a sword, which can cut away that which never really was, only a mirrored reflection of the truth beyond the mirrors. And it says, I am the truth beyond mirrors. I now steep through the mirror into greater reality. And so I'll catch up on this. Bluetooth in Michigan or Minnesota. I'm in Minnesota. Yeah, somebody came over the other night and I bought 2 grams from him. Forgot to get him. So whenever I see him, I know where he live. I know where the nigga work. So I see him when I see him. I ain't really pressed. Just forgot. He stayed. I think he slept out in my garage, but I forgot. So whenever I see him, I see him. But he claims they're pretty good. I just get disappointed. I've had them a few times, but most times they're disappointing. I had a few times where they open it up. It opens up. It's great for meditating. It really is, to find your higher self. It was funny. Earlier today, I was meditating early in the afternoon before I did anything. And normally I just sit here. And like a lot of times, like this is an important part too. A lot of times you'll start experiencing stuff and what the energy will do like this. And so even though you're sitting, it's like what you're watching comes over here. And you'll completely change and you'll look, to follow whatever picture is coming up, whatever fractal is coming up. But the key is to no, I do not want to go over here. I want to stay here. I want the picture here. So if it goes over there, let it go and still concentrate on what's here. But today, I lifted my head up because I was like, damn, everything was really coming in. And I was like, shit, I lifted my head up and I just felt like my head just separated from my body. And I just felt my head just moving up. As long as I kept my head up, my head alone, I could tell my body is detached. My head just kept moving through. So that was the experience early. Yeah, that was kind of cool. You got to take 3.5 to get the full experience. Okay. Yeah, he was telling me how much. Yeah, I don't know. I only got 2 grams. I can get another gram from him, though. One time I tried them. I started fighting with the wife. I was dead set and convinced that I had to divorce her. Wow. And I've tried them, DMT. DMT is nice, but yeah. But it's like a lot of times we have these expectations too. Like I've done acid and didn't feel nothing. I've done acid and it took me beyond. So, and sometimes you take acid, it just make you giggle. Great giggles though. Great giggles. It's one of the better than bud. You can take acid and it'll give you the greatest giggles. It won't necessarily stretch your mind all the time. Sometimes it just have you giggling like a motherfucker. Like got motherfucking ass, like Richard Pryor said. He said he wouldn't recommend 3.5. Yeah, I was only gonna take maybe a half a gram to start with, 2. So when I get them, especially if they top shelf, and that's what he claims. That's what he claimed. He claimed it was pretty good. Yeah. So I'll get with him. I got his number. I forgot I got his number. So I'll text him, like, bring it by. But he works. I know he works nights too. So he's funny. He's a goofy motherfucker. He's going to sell me beats. So when I start putting beats in, yeah, I'm going to buy the beats from him. It'd probably be decent. Probably be decent. Mm. Well, I guess that's it. As Patti LaBelle would say, I can't do no more. I can't do no more. I'm just the buzz that's kicking in, so I'm gonna do a little more. But I'll give everybody more. It all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland, but they knew that they had exact number of years and days before they would disappear as a culture and a lifestyle. But they turned the civilization to a gentle love because they lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles and the great serpent, which is our Milky Way. And for those of you that are about to go to sleep in your creation ball field, they call beds, rest well. Know that you're protected because you've put the things around you that will protect you. And may you get all the rest that you need, you want. And for those of you at work, may your work time go smooth. May you go safely home and get the amount of rest you need. Remember, love just is. Nothing tied to it. It's just love. Love is all you need. That's what the Beatles said. Love is all you need. All you need is love. Do, 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 do. All you need is love. That's all you need is love. So keep love in your heart. Don't let anybody, anything take that love away. Because love starts with yourself. Unless you love yourself, you can't love anyone else. You know? You got the people that say, if you love me, then I'll love you back. Love don't work like that. You just love. You don't love without wanting something in return. That's not how love works. You just love. I remember having sex with women because I'm making them come. They telling me they love me, just because I'm making them come. Now, you love that I'm making you come. You don't love me. But people caught in the moment. Well, baby, this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. Going through 2 hours. Can't do no more. And might do an afternoon show tomorrow, maybe, depending on what time my ass get up. So this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the questions, the comments. So until we meet again, definitely say less.